So Robin and John, thanks so much for taking time out to do the Art of Fearlessly Doing Business interview. Tell us who you are and a little bit about your business.
Right, well, thank you for inviting us to do the interview. My name is Robin McCombs.
I'm John McCombs.
Our business is Temperature Pro. It's a heating and cooling company, and it's part of a franchise.
Now, you guys just recently started your business less than a year ago. Why did you choose Temperature Pro and specifically the AC industry?
We looked at a number of different business opportunities. We were both at a little bit of a crossroads in our lives. John had worked corporate America for a long time and decided he wanted a change from what he had been doing. I had been a stay-at-home mom for a number of years after being in the Army and then working at the VA Medical Center as a nurse. I spent several years at home being a PTA mom and soccer mom and raising our children. And it's getting to the point where the children were growing up and I wanted to get back into the workforce. I didn't want to get back into nursing, so we started looking at something we could do together.
And so John, why Temperature Pro, the franchise? I know you looked at several different AC franchises, but what was it about Temperature Pro that really appealed to you?
I think that the opportunity in the HVAC industry is an industry that is still dominated, while mature industry is still dominated by overwhelmingly men. It's also 9 out of 10 installations are not done to standard. And those are studies by Texas A&M and ASU. And then there is this, you take the level of quality that ought to be there, it's compared to other industries, and we saw an opportunity that if we go out there week after week, month after month, and do things right, we can differentiate ourselves over a period of years.
So what was the first big fear you had to overcome to get started? I mean, you're making a big change from corporate America and staying at home, and then you're opening up your own business. What was the first big fear you had to kind of come to terms with to get started?
Just the idea that we're going to use our own money and our own funds to start this venture and having to pay other people's salary and be able to sustain that business and be able to continue to do that over a long period of time.
This is, you go through a threshold. Before that, it was other people's money. Now it's yours. You're the one putting the investment in it. It's your money. And now effort, and it's like going right through a threshold. It's a different world.
So what was the first big bump in the road that you came to that you went, oh geez?
I think we were only a couple of months into this venture, and our service manager decided that this situation was not right for him. We mutually decided that it wasn't working out. So our first employee, after a couple of months, left our business, and he was the one that we relied on heavily for industry knowledge and guidance. And so for a number of reasons, it didn't work out, and that was a huge hurdle to overcome.
Were you able to replace him right away, or?
Well, I think the thing we did is we got our next hires right, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then when we started in September, going into the slow season, which allowed us to refine our process and work it. And it was a trial by fire. It forced us to learn things quickly. We also, being part of a franchise, also could tap into subject matter experts. And I look back at one of the things, especially in my thing, is I'm not good at asking for help. Well, you start asking for help, and you start filling it in, and then you find that you got some great people working for you that are really wanting to step up their game too, and that's how we overcome that object.
So it came a learning opportunity as opposed to just that horrible thing that you didn't want to go through.
Absolutely. Probably in retrospect was the best thing that happened for us, because it forced us to really learn the business, whereas before we relied so heavily on him. But after he left the company, we had to learn how to run our own business. We had to learn the HVAC industry, and we quickly did that. And you know, it's been a learning experience ever since that day.
Yeah.
And every day we learn more and more.
Yeah, we replaced the qualifying party with somebody who is actually, on the ground. Okay, that's the technical expertise, the running the business, knowing the HVAC industry. Now it fell predominantly on us. And reaching out to the franchise and their operational expertise, where I think we're a lot better off now.
It's funny how that works out.
It
So
is.
what's the thing that is concerning you the most now as you enter into into the year number 2 pretty soon of your business? What's the thing that makes you the most nervous right now?
I think as we start into the summer, it's just starting to get hot, and already it's been very busy. And so the challenge that we currently have is keeping up with the demand and making sure we have enough employees. So we're actually looking at bringing on additional employees so we can service the amount of calls that we're receiving.
What an awesome problem to have.
It's a great
Well,
problem.
I look at it that if you're out there, and I think there's more opportunity. I'm more optimistic about the opportunity now than I was when we got in a year ago. I think there's plenty of opportunity out there if you're willing to work and hustle for it and deliver quality service. And our challenge now is to get more quality people, and I think 5 years from now it's going to be quality people, and training them so well that sure they could go somewhere else, but they won't because we treat them so well, and
Right.
creating that culture that we want.
And that brings up another point, and so that goes hand in hand with bringing on new employees. We want the new employees that we bring in to fit into our culture that we're establishing, and it can't just be any HVAC technician. It has to be someone that really fits into our culture that we're creating.
I was listening to some leadership development stuff last night as I was painting, and culture is really important and where you should start from. So I'm really glad to hear you say that, so that you can have the right people on the bus in the right seats from the beginning. So good for you. What can you tell other people about what you've learned about being fearless?
I think the biggest thing you have to do is make a leap of faith. I mean, you have to just get past the fear and say, okay, in order for our business to grow, we have to do it. There is no other way, but you just do it. You make that leap of faith and trust that the outcome will be there to support your leap of faith.
I agree. I think when somebody who sits, you say, you gotta move forward, and if you stay where you're at, you're not going to get to where you want to be, and you have to move forward. And especially when you start out, you have to, have a plan. You have to understand your plan and where you're going to go with it, and understand that there's certain parts of that plan that say, if you stay where you're at, you're not going to succeed. If you're still in this space, a year or two down there, you're not going to succeed. So you have to move forward. You have to have that, as Robin said, leap of faith.
There's this concept that's called burning the boats that I've heard a lot in my career, where the captain brings the whole crew to the shore and burns the boats, and they either have to conquer and take over the land, or conquer and take their boats, right? So it sounds like you guys have burnt the boats.
Oh, yes,
We
we're boats are burned. As the Marines on Guadalcanal, the Navy has left.
And you were a military man, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
Thank
I
you
do.
so much for your service, both
Oh,
of you,
thank
by
you,
the
thank
way.
you.
And I really appreciate your time. I wish you the best of luck going into year number 2. And
you.
I look forward to seeing you at the Art of Fearlessly Doing Business opening at the Walter Gallery on May 14th.
Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Michelle.
Michelle.
We appreciate the opportunity to contribute to your openings.
Yay! Thanks so much. Have a good rest of your day.
All right, thank you. You too.